Welcome to this MBL webinar. My name is Hazel Sanders and I'm a Senior Associate at Stephen Scown LLP. Today we're going to be exploring TUPE beyond the transfer. So, by way of brief background, before we dive in, what we're discussing is TUPE transfers today, which are governed by the Transfer of Undertakings, Protection of Employment Regulations 2006. So TUPE applies to a relevant transfer. This is defined to cover two types of event. The first is a transfer of a business, undertaking, or part of a business or undertaking, where there's a transfer of an economic entity that retains its identity. And that is known as a business transfer. And it's commonly where there is that sale of a business and assets. And it can also cover property transactions in certain circumstances. The second is where a client is engaging a contractor to do work on its behalf, and it's looking to reassign that contract or bring that work in-house, or alternatively, if they've been doing it in-house, engaging the contractor to do it, or changing contractors, and that is a service provision change. TUPE does not normally apply to share sales. So TUPE doesn't apply in those circumstances, and therefore some people might think, well, actually what we're looking at today doesn't apply, but actually some of it can be taken into account because what we're focusing on is how to ensure smooth transitions following transfers. And whilst TUPE doesn't apply in a share sale, it might still be relevant to help you support employees and support those relations. So throughout this session, I'm going to be referring to the transfer or outgoing employer. This is going to be the original employer or the outgoing provider or the seller. And where we're referring to transferee or incoming employer, this is the new employer who's either bought the business or is the new service provider. As part of my work at Stephen Scown LLP, I work closely with our corporate team on business sales, and I also support organisations who are impacted by TUPE due to the service provision change. What struck me over the years is that, quite rightly, given the prescriptive nature of the obligations imposed under the TUPE regulations, companies often get tied up in focusing on the strict legal matters. Does TUPE apply? Who's affected? What needs to go in the measures letter?